Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, that show that brings you the latest and greatest and crazy news from all over the planet. Long ago, back before the time of man, a seed was planted into the ground, and deep below the earth it sat and waited until the time when it was ripe to grow into a podcast. And from that tree sprouted two hosts, and those two hosts held in their hands news and fun stories and jokes, and they said, "Behold, Earth, take hold of our news, run with it, and don't trip, because you might cut yourself on our sharp wit." I'm your host, Steven, joined as always by the amazing, the wonderful, the incredible, the one and only, Smashley. Good morning.
So,
Good morning.
oddly, it's 2020. It's good, whatever. So, oddly, did this art that I literally just saw like maybe an hour ago on Instagram. I haven't been on Instagram in like a month, and I just happened to fall across it. And I was looking at the picture of me, and it's literally me right now because I've got the pajama pants on, I've got the hoodie. I just cut my hair today because I'm like, F it. I haven't been to get my hair cut in 9 months. Like, I'm so done. And like after 3 months, like a lot of your hair falls out from the pregnancy. And I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. All I do is wear it in a top knot. I'm gonna cut it. And then my baby woke up mid cut. And I'm like,
That's the
so I
style
did. So
now.
I literally look like this picture with the really short hair and the hoodie, the pajama pants, and the flippy floppies.
I was thinking about that picture today, and a huge shout out to Oddly Normal One for drawing that for us, because it's one of my favorite pictures of us that's ever been drawn. But I was looking, I was like, dang, for having only ever really seen Ashley's upper torso, he pretty much nailed what you dress like.
Like even
this,
with yeah, it's so good.
like he's only ever really seen you from like boobs up. and, and that gave him enough context to be like, she's a hoodie and pants person. And that, so yeah, it worked out really well. Thank you, Oddly Normal One, for that incredible picture. I seriously do want to make the F-bomb cannon. I think we can do it. I've got a ton of
For
foam.
Halloween.
I mean, for life, but you'd have to wait to do it for Halloween. You could have that sitting behind you when you do the show, just this giant F-bomb bazooka.
So Ace, when you get pregnant, you like just your body floods itself with human growth hormone, which is great. So the hairs that you shed during a day, it's stalled because your body doesn't release that hormone like pretty much the entire time you're pregnant. So I did not lose a single hair the entire time I was pregnant. And you have all this growth because your body's flooded with the human growth hormone. But about 3 months after birth, your body starts like hormonally going back to normal. So all those hairs that your body was holding on to because that hormone wasn't being released just shed like within a week. So your hair just comes out in clumps. Like it's crazy. So all that like pretty puffy like pregnancy hair goes away. Like you don't go bald or anything. You just lose a surprising amount of hair, and it's a hell of an adjustment to go from like pregnancy poof hair to sweet baby Jesus, why did I clog the bathroom drain again? Hair. Anyway, I don't
It's
know. Oh, because you said the thing and then I said the thing. That's why I said the thing.
Well, that was a good story and explanation. I did always imagine that it would take a lot of human growth hormone to grow a human. And apparently that seems to have an effect on the host. Because we're going to refer to children as parasites, which you say parasites for 9 months. Nay, parasites for 20 years. They just feed off all of the things. Wait, what?
Okay, I need more context. So Stealth just asked me if I would use milk to make dice for D&D, and I'm like, I currently
Can
use
you
it
do
to
that?
make I'm how?
I don't know.
Like
I think
how do you do you make milk cubes and then carve the numbers cuz breast milk melts really quickly.
does it really? Like, is it a melty? I mean, I guess it would.
It's
Oh, yeah, because
really fatty.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's real gross that we're talking about. I mean, it's not gross. It's beautiful. Like it's beautiful, but it's also real gross. Uh,
It's not. It's just food for a baby. Who
no,
gives a
and that's fine. In that context, it's wonderful. So here's the thing. I've been watching The Boys, and The Boys ruined breast milk for me in a sense of like I used to be able to look at it and go, "That's for a baby," and now it just has this. It's just disgusting.
in
And
season 2?
oh yeah, it
Well,
really got me.
I haven't seen that, so
It's the
I'm
right out of the
wondering.
gate. The first episode just really got me with the visuals. I couldn't. Now I don't even. But to be fair, I don't even like to drink cow's milk. I think it's a survival mechanism because I'm lactose intolerant. So my brain decided, hey, you're
Oh.
lactose intolerant. I'm gonna go ahead and point out that everything with lactose in it is gonna make you annoyed and feel like ewy. That way you don't want it.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
ice cream. Like ice cream is the devil, and I say that to everybody. It was like, stop ruining everybody's fun, and I'm like, no, ice cream kills people. It killed
Yeah.
Dr. Baskin Robbins. It kills. It's full of nothing but sugar and heart attack. It's just heart attack sauce in your veins. And ice cream is what kills. Ice cream is what will be the death of American civilization as we know it. That's the way I
I
think
really
of it.
want vanilla ice cream. Okay, so before you started pooping your pants when you ate ice cream, did you like the like chalky eggy ice cream, or did you like fuck no? Did you like
Wait, what? Choc- with chalky eggy ice cream? I don't even
no?
know what that
Did you
is.
like the eggy the
Like
eggy ice
sticky?
cream, or the more chalky like flaky ice cream, like words.
I like the soft serve. That's my thing. I love a soft
Okay,
serve ice cream because you put the sprinkles and you make it in a parfait and you just nom nom nom. That's okay. Now you make me
okay,
want some soft serve. Maybe it's just the
right?
wires that. Maybe it's just that we always have 8 pounds of it around us between your parents, us, and you guys. That I'm just like,
We never have ice
everyone
cream.
here is diabetic. Stop eating ice cream. And I think that's also a survival mechanism. Like, quit killing yourselves. Ice cream is nothing but sugar in large quantities. I guess I'll
Yeah.
need to take another metformin or whatever today.
So I
It's
guess we're not
intense.
doing that bake trade thing.
It's funny. It's only ice cream I really have the major issue with. If it's cookies, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And Stephanie says that's just because you don't like ice cream and you don't want to ruin it for everybody else. To say, baby, maybe that's true.
Yay,
Come at me, bro.
brah.
So we haven't been at this game in a couple weeks, Smashly. What is there anything out there you want to tell the audience about? Since we've been a couple weeks out, PJ pants or something in the covers of this.
So the right now kiddo's going through it's a 6-week leap, like a developmental leap, but at the very end, which he is in now, is what they call a fussy phase, which is him being like super clingy and like nothing makes him happy. So you literally just spend all day holding a 20-pound lump because he weighs 20 pounds, trying to figure out a way to entertain him, and it's exhausting. Okay, so like he went down for this nap, and I'm like, thank you God. Like, and my bedroom is a mess because I took like pack and play stuff in there and like kitchen utensils. I'm like, please just let me clean something up and bang a pot, like anything that would entertain you. And I'm like, I'm gonna cut my hair. Like, I want to do something that makes me feel good about myself. Like, I can't paint my toenails because if we go to the beach, the sand will ruin it. And like, I don't, whatever. And it's not like I can give myself a facial because I'd like to do that before bed. That sounds sexual, but it's not. Like, I literally just want to put mud on my face for 5 minutes. But I'm like, and then I want to go to sleep, but I can't. So I'm like, I'll cut my hair. I've been wanting to do it. I've been looking at pictures. It's great. Start cutting my hair, and the baby wakes up early, and I'm like, so when you cut your hair, you have to be not in clothes because the hair sticks to everything. So I'm like naked, covered in hair, and my baby's going, "Oh, wake me up! Come get me, mommy! Where are you? It's been 3 seconds, mommy!" okay. So I'm like using the little talkie thing. I'm like, it's okay, Bibble. Mommy will be there in a second. Bark! Okay, hurry up. So I'm just like, I took a horse brush and I'm like brushing hair off me furiously. And I like walk in the room and he's like, hi, mama. I'm like, oh, thank God he's in a good mood. So I give him a little rattle. I'm like, okay, let me go get cleaned up. And so I'm listening to the rattle on the little monitor device thing, and I'm like trying desperately to clean up all the like hairs in the floor and get all the hairs off of me. I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to take a shower because that's the only way to fully get rid of it. So I bring him into the bedroom finally, and I sit him in front of the shower, and like he just watches me shower like I'm a weirdo, and he's staring at me. I'm like, my hair looks stupid. My hair looks so stupid. My child isn't even smiling at me. My child is looking at me like I'm a weirdo, and I'm like, oh my god, like whatever. And so he lets me like blow dry my hair and everything. I'm like, what have I done? Like I didn't have time to finish. Like I literally had time just to whack it off and like
That's
was it? So I'm
what
like,
she
whatever.
said.
Right? He looked so bad he didn't even laugh at that joke. So I completely forgot about it. I like tried to screw with it a couple times. The child's like pick me up and carry me wench. Um Jacob gets home and like I have long pants on, PJ pants, because what the hell else am I gonna wear? And it's cold in the house. So I'm like cleaning out the refrigerator because he stopped to get groceries. I'm like, great. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll clean out the refrigerator. You go play with the baby. I've had him all day. Like it'll give you that way you don't have to do work. You can play with your kid who's in a bouncer, so you don't even have to touch him. And I pull out a bottle of wine and I'm like, ooh, fizzy. I want fizzy sweet because I haven't eaten today either. I haven't eaten. Well, I ate right before the show, but up to that point, I had not eaten anything just because I didn't have time and I wanted to. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm like, yay, fizzy, yummy, sweet drinks. And so I unscrewed the lid. Jacob goes, you just saw the bottle of wine and you're gonna drink some, and I'm like, yes. It pissed me off, so I took a little swig out of the bottle, and he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "You're just sitting there in your pajama pants with your mom face drinking wine." He goes, "I'm gonna go get the baby because you need help, obviously." And I'm like,
Hold on, I got a button for that.
You lose! Good day, sir!
That's a bad move.
I'm like, "Oh, son!" I just looked at him. He's like, "Well, no, because I mean, you're in your pajamas and you look a mess." And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You tell a woman she looks like a mess and a mom, and then you're gonna go get the kid because she obviously needs help? I will mess you up, son." It was so bad. Yes, sub of the 18-year-old variety. Sub, are you 18 or 19?
He's like 20 or something, right? Isn't next
No.
year the year
I
that we take him to the red phone booth at Dragon Con and get him drunk?
thought it was one more year.
I think it's next year that
He's
he
19.
goes.
Yes. Yeah, he's
What?
19.
So we have to
Yeah.
wait 2 years to take him to the red phone booth and get him drunk?
I mean, he could make his own fake ID. I don't know why he hasn't yet.
This is unacceptable.
Wow.
Maybe we could cover for him. That would be fine. So Jacob, I think might suffer from foot and mouth disease, like I do. You know, because it's bad. It's bad. You say something and you're like, but that's not what I mean. That's not how I meant for it to come out. And it's like too late. And you sit there and you try to fix it. Also, you never come between a mom and her wine. That's a relationship like a wizard in a spell book. Like they belong together. Moms
It's
and
not
wine.
even like I drink because I don't like wine makes me feel yucky. I just wanted something bubbly and sweet. It was bubbly and sweet, and I drank like that much, screwed the cap on, and put it back in the refrigerator for it to go flat. Like,
Wine. Me and wine don't have a good relationship, but I think some people do, and I don't judge you for the wine and PJs.
by
Yeah.
the way, you were saying you never go between a mom and their wine. I'm like, damn it, Steven. And Sub was like, ooh, you did it bad too.
Wait.
When Sub understands more
How
than the
does
two
Sub?
actual fathers.
How does Sub have the? I didn't even know that was the wrong thing to say, but apparently it is. I'm so sorry. Jacob,
I
you
didn't
come.
mean to insinuate that moms need to drink.
They do. They do. Everybody on Facebook is like, Mom's having a wine tonight. Mom's drinking some wine. Ooh, today was a wine day. So I've taken the stereotypes that I have seen on the social media and I just applied them, and now I'm in trouble. So
Wait,
now I
did you
know
just
how it
call
works.
me a Facebook mom with wine? My God.
No, God!
So anyway, The Office is a great show. Been watching that. It's pretty wonderful.
Did you get to Lizard King part yet?
I don't think so. We just watched Pam and Jim get married. And then like a couple
You're not at the
episodes, the whole what lizard thing?
I said
Oh,
you're
not
not
there
at the
yet.
Lizard
Okay,
King. No.
we will get there. We will get there, and it'll be great.
Yes.
But hey, one thing's for sure: we're glad to be back in front of you guys on the internet talking about stuff because I think that's. I miss it. I miss talking to you when we miss a week. I'm like, blur, sadness. But then here I
It
am.
sucks.
And I'm like, I was really tired, but now I'm not real tired. Now I'm real happy, because we're hanging out with our friends, and that's a good thing. But yeah, man.
Steven, do you think we'll ever get to do anything ever again? Ever?
Oh, stay tuned to Staring at Goats Wednesday evenings at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. No, I don't know, man. No, not really. I don't think so. I mean, should we expect anything new? I don't know that we should. I think so I was reading an article talking about the sooner we let go of trying to get normal back, the better. And I gave that some thought because I'm a thinker. And I'm like, I think the health condition of that is like, if we continue trying to get back to normal or what we perceive as normal, we're going to continuously be disappointed. And that's not good for your mental state. It's kind of like your mom
Right.
used to say, you bloom where you're planted. Just wherever you
Yes.
are, be there. And make the best of where there is. And I mean, theaters are gone. I think I've come to the conclusion that theaters are gone.
Heard
Pastime that I love. Like, I mean, shoot, I spent my whole young life in the movie theater. It means the world to me. They're gone. I don't know that they're coming back. Even if they were available, they're going to turn them into something else. I mean, you're looking at Regal Cinemas just closed 500. It's just not going to happen. So I'm not going to go see movies with you. I'm not going to go see movies with Sam. I had planned his whole life to sneak him out of school and take him to the movie theater. And if we do, it's going to be far less opportunity than we might have had otherwise, because they're going to shut these things down. The money runs out, man. It runs out.
Do you think it's gonna be more like fun little? I feel almost like someone came in and in a way wiped our advancements off the board to some extent, and then when we do start kind of emerging in mass, that it's going to be super like niche, almost 1950s kind of thing, because I feel like if theaters come back, they'll be kind of gimmicky at first, almost like a drive-in, be like, hey, so if it's like kind of we reset the clock for some things. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like it's
I understand. Yeah, you're
quaint.
like a backslide a little bit into what
Yeah.
things used to be, because you have to imagine it almost as
Yeah,
like
HD.
instead of being peaked out, it's ramping up again. But ramping up again, are we ramping up from like where it was in the 40s, 50s,
Right.
and then starting from that population? But there's so many more cinemas. I mean, we got like 10 around us that we could drive to right now and go see a movie at if we wanted to, or good if they were
Yeah.
open. So I think you're guys going to see a massive reduction in those places, which will potentially increase the amount of seats or the ticket price, because there won't be as many seats, because there won't be as many
Right.
theaters. Demand will be high. So,
And then
man.
they'll have to offer more. That's what I'm saying. Kind of like things are going to be really, I don't know, special. Like my words aren't
You
working
could,
for me today.
yeah, you could look at it like maybe movie theaters become more of an expo thing, like when Kevin Smith went on the road with Jay and Silent
Yeah.
Bob reboot. Like that was kind of a special thing. When local movie theaters that are smaller play like Back to the Future and Indiana Jones and stuff on one screen for a night, like That's kind of a thing. So you'll probably get that. You'll end up like TV's Travis and Headgamer have been throwing out that its multiplexes are gone. Niche theaters might be able to stay around, and it would be like stuff like
Right.
Tenet or a Scorsese movie or like those
stuff
big.
you would almost dress up for. Like if you're gonna spend $30 on a ticket, like you're gonna make it a dress up day, right? Like and
Dude,
people used to do that.
Can we dress to the nines to go to a movie again? Can we like
Right?
suit up to be like, I will be taking my lady out for a movie date this evening. We'll go have some popcorn and a sody pop. In my tie. Like, oh snap, can we do that? Like that would be the jam. I want to do that. And then when Jacob and I go see weirdo like big crazy movies that y'all don't like, we'll be like, Jacob, would you like to go to a movie? I'm going to be wearing my nice 3-piece. Like that'd be the jam. I'm doing it.
Vaudeville bitches, nice.
Look,
HG.
I saw this picture. I see these pictures of these famous style people. Ever seen style, like Met Gala level, like fashion people walking around in normal, like out and about in their like weird ensembles that no one wears, that you don't know where you would even find it. And I sit there and stress out over whether I want to wear a fedora that day because people think they're not okay. Like, Nicolas Cage is wearing a pink jacket with wings and a Superman thing on it and cut up acid wash jeans. He's fine with that. And everybody goes, freaking Nicolas Cage. Why do I have to be, like, I see people dress and cut their hair certain ways. I'm like, why do I worry about anything I do? Like, anything. Why do I consider anyone if that person is considered cool?
It's
you know
how
what I mean?
how you wear it. Like apparently when I was wearing my pajama pants earlier, which by the way, just they're these. I can't lean back in this chair.
You're gonna fall.
They're penguins with Santa hats. F you, Jacob. I was wearing it like a mom would, and not with more confidence, maybe.
So you need to wear the pants. Don't let the pants wear you. That's the trick.
I'm like, where are we? Because we're going to the beach soon, and I'm sitting here going, I literally have no clothes. But then I'm like, we're going to the beach to be in the same house together. We're not going to the beach to do things.
Oh, don't worry if I see Jacob in his pajama pants. Like, so that's what you're wearing today? Is that what we're gonna do? That's where it ends. You're just gonna wake up and put on PJ pants and act like you can just be around. Like, is that the state we're in? Because I'm a weirdo. My mom pushed me so hard to make sure I dress like a person every day that I can't feel like a functional human until I'm fully dressed, contacts in, face washed, ready to roll. Because every time I wanted to go somewhere and I would be wearing like holy jeans and my favorite crappy hat, which when I watch old home movies, I'm like, yeah, that hat was pretty crappy. My mom's like, you can't wear that. People think you're a throwed away child. That was her phrase.
Oh, that's so cute.
Throwed away child.
That's so cute.
So I always, like, even in college, I'd see kids wearing pajamas in class. I'm like, you need to do something with yourself. Like, have some respect. Wear some clothes when you go out of the house.
My uniform pretty much since forever has been a hoodie and some sort of comfortable pants. If I'm in public, it's the same hoodie I wore inside with jeans. If I'm inside, it's the hoodie with pajama pants.
I used to be fascinated that you and Stephanie would wear hoodies with nothing on underneath the hoodie. That blew my mind.
No, that's a Stephanie thing. I think that's gross.
That was a Stephanie thing. Because I remember, like, I was like, what do you mean you can't just take your... Oh, you don't have anything on under the hoodie. And then, of course, I'm a teenager, so my brain's like, uh-huh. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear anything else you said.
No.
My mind was occupied.
What do I have this shirt. Well, because hoodies aren't like... I don't think I've ever worn a hoodie and nothing under it. That just seems wrong.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I always felt like it was a sweatshirt required a normal shirt underneath that sweatshirt. There's a high likelihood I would want to take it off, and I would want to have something else under there. Teenage Stephen was thirsty. I don't even know what that means.
Oddly, you missed the whole conversation we had about the drawing. I was freaking out. I'm like, because I literally just cut my... Anyway, I won't rehash it, but I literally just cut my hair, and I wear that outfit all the time. And I'm like, Steven's like, how did he know? I'm like, I don't know, but he knew. Because this was... Anyway, okay. You
go back and listen to the first 3 minutes of the show, and it was basically all about you. So congrats, you got that. Factoid time. Since the 1890s, pencils were painted yellow. American pencil makers wanted to tell people that the pencils they manufacture contain Chinese graphite. In China, yellow is associated with respect and royalty. Manufacturers painted pencils bright yellow in order to communicate this regal feeling and association with China. Fascinating.
Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, I just got a taste bud. Yeah, you get a taste bud? I got a taste bud. Ow.
Where did you get it from?
I pinched it between my tooth and the top of my water level.
You know, my buddy Lando, who's actually a host on occasion of a show we do on this network, he learned from someone that if you get one of those like sore, I was about to say sore testicles, sore taste buds, you can clip them off with fingernail clippers. And he does that when he gets like a ulcerated taste bud. And I'm like, you're a psycho. And he's like, it doesn't even hurt. And it fixes it. And it doesn't hurt anymore. And I'm like, yep, I'm just going to suffer till it goes away because that's insane. Anybody else here do that? Anybody? Raise your hand. Because I'm...
F no.
This sounds
I feel like
bad.
that's telling somebody you could recharge your iPhone battery by sticking it in the microwave.
That's actually a really good analogy. I mean, Landon did at one point stick a thumbtack through his ear. To pierce it once because he saw another kid do it.
I used a needle to pierce my belly button.
You did that yourself?
Yeah, but then I had to go redo it, and then she's just like, "You've already got this pierced." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
You're like, yeah, but
Fix
it was I did it wrong.
Like it needs to be a gauged needle, not a sewing needle.
Oh gosh. Why would you poke holes in yourself? Oh my gosh. It's not necessary. And then one day you're not going to want it anymore.
Hits.
Dopamine
I mean,
hits.
it's like grown up because when I got pregnant, I took it out because I'm like, getting too fat for this.
Like, this isn't going to work.
Like this is gonna pop right out.
I don't think I could poke a hole in myself for any reason ever. Like part of me really wants a tattoo, but the other part of me knows I'm never going to do it, even though it would be really great. And I think that I could come up with a cool one. I really want one that's just a big Murray skull that says "Let's roll."
That would be so. I really thought when you got the tattoo for Christmas that you would get the tattoo because you'd be like,
I would?
okay, I like this. Yeah, I thought that would urge you on.
I really like that tattoo. I think it's awesome. It would require making an appointment and going to a place. And it was pandemic time shortly after that.
Yeah, that is true.
So there was a whole lot of needles getting stuck in you. And I remember telling Landon, I was like, I think I want to get a tattoo on the inside of my bicep. And Landon's like, oh, that'll be fun. I was like, what does that mean? And he was like, real fleshy. That'll hurt good. And I'm like, don't say stuff like that. It can't be that bad. He's like, yeah, that'll feel great. I'm like, I hate you so much.
The fattier it is, like the closer to bone it is, the more it hurts.
That's what I've heard. And your back is the best because your back has so like fewer nerve endings back there.
Didn't feel shit. It felt like somebody was pushing hard with an ink pen. I mean, by the like 500th stroke, because she had a bit too much to drink mid tattoo, I'm like, okay, I feel it.
I'm done now.
Now.
Travis said inside the arm is tender. He knows what's going on. Yeah. Wait, Og, did you pierce your penis? Wait, who pierced their penis? Did someone in the chat pierce their penis?
No, somebody's friend had a Prince Albert.
Oh, gross. That you pee in forks after that.
You have to sit down to pee, man.
Oh gosh, why would you do that? My everything about my nuts and penis hurt. Just thinking about it.
Sarah's been thinking about his nuts a lot this show.
Why have I been thinking I haven't? My nuts are fine. They're in great condition.
One of our friends got their testicles done in last week, and apparently he got these nuts. He got a vasectomy. He has 5 children, so he's done.
It's about time.
But he's apparently got like this condition that he's never been able to be fully numbed.
Oh.
So when they started the procedure, he felt it, and
Oh.
apparently it was not a great experience for him.
Oh, well, good news. I numb up like a boss. The place I looked at, they don't even use a needle. They shoot you with one of those army tranquilizer things in the nut to numb it, instead of like
Oh, the vapor, the nut vapor.
the vapor
Yeah.
numb. They shoot it through your skin, into your nut where it goes, and then they do their operation.
Same topic. I like everything.
Oh, I've heard the smoke thing. A buddy of mine said that he smelled he was like, it didn't take long and it was painless for me, but he said you could definitely smell the charred human flesh as they cauterized your vas deferens there.
You should take like essential oil or something and huff it. Be like, look, when you get ready to solder me up, tell me so I can huff some oils.
Solder. Now we can do it in the garage. I didn't know all it was a solder yard. I got one of those.
I love how every dude in the chat is like, "Okay, bye."
It's so funny. The psychology behind it is so bad because everyone I've talked to that's done it, they're like, "Oh, no big deal. Knock it out, go home, play Xbox, wake up next day, feel fine." But everybody who like needs to have it or wants to have it is like, "I can't imagine it." It's like having a tooth pulled. It's like a part of you that's being removed forever. I think that's probably based on a deep-seated survival thing, like a legacy thing. Like men are meant to just, well, if you go with the biology of it, just bang everything that moves and have as many children as possible. So when you get to that point, you're like, I'm removing this part of passing my genetic code on. I think it's part of that, like, don't get hit in the nuts mentality that you have growing up.
Well, that
you know what I mean?
hurts, right?
Yeah, well, that it hurts, but the whole yes, thank you, Travis. The propagation of the species, you're fighting nature a little bit there, so it makes it's even a higher anxiety than it you'd think. Anyway,
your wife doesn't have to. I will never go back on birth control unless something drastic happens. So, like, and condoms suck all the butt. So I'm just like, hey Jacob, unless you want a second kid real quick, find somewhere else to put that as
world news.
pull out.
An Irish court, Subway's sandwich bread is not legally bread. The Irish Supreme Court ruled the bread used for sandwiches at franchise chain Subway cannot be legally defined as bread because it contains too much sugar. The court was hearing an appeal from Subway franchisee Bookfinders Limited on whether the bread for the chain sandwiches would count as a staple food that is exempt from the value-added tax of 1972. Thank you, Griffin, for your resub. You're amazing.
Yay!
6 months for Griffin. The 5-judge court ruled that Subway's bread is not legally defined as bread under the VAT Act because its sugar content is 10% of the weight of the flour used to make the dough, far more than the 2% specified for the legal definition of bread under the Act. There's an act to define bread. That's Irish government. The argument depends on the acceptance of the prior contention that the Subway heated sandwich contains bread as defined and therefore can be said to be food for the purpose of the second schedule rather than confectionery. Since that argument has been rejected, the subsidiary argument must fail. I have no idea what I just read. Just so we're clear. No idea.
You know that thing that if Jimmy has blue eyes, then he's a boy, and then Paul is a boy, therefore he has blue eyes. That false assumption.
Yeah.
Aristotle. Yeah, basically you just read that in legalese.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, it's not bread, therefore the prior rule does not stand.
Right. So this apple is round and an apple is round. This rock is round, therefore it's an apple, or something like that.
Yes.
The appeal stemmed from a 2006 ruling against Bookfinders, which had sought a refund for VAT payments, claiming the bread used to make the sandwiches should be exempt from the tax. The appeal was rejected. Take that, Subway. You're making sugar bread. So basically, their bread's more of a donut. So
it's a confectionery. Their bread is made of yoga mats. Let's be real.
There's nothing good about a Subway sandwich if we're just gonna get right down to the nitty gritty. Like if you want a sandwich, but to be fair, they are priced effectively. Subway is one of the most lucrative franchises you can buy into because they don't have a whole lot of stuff to keep. Probably Papa Murphy's Pizza is another one because like Murphy's Pizza is just a sham. I love it. It's delicious, but my word, y'all, they just put the stuff on the dough and hand it to you. You go cook it yourself. Like they don't even
Oh
deliver.
my gosh, that is true. They
They don't.
like have a bowl full of olives and sausage and like dough.
They don't need a oven in the place. They just need some refrigerators, and then that's it. And they give you a pizza, and you thank them for it. You pay them, and they give it to you. By the way, speaking of paying for things, T-shirts from designer stores like Banana Republic and Abercrombie and Fitch and places like that should pay you. And now hear me out. You are walking into a store, you're buying a T-shirt that says Abercrombie and Fitch real big on it. If Abercrombie and Fitch wants to advertise, they have to pay a billboard a whole bunch of money to put that sign up there. They should pay you. You're a better billboard than that billboard is. You should walk in that store and say, "Pay me $20 and I'll wear your stupid T-shirt." That's how it should work. I think that designer clothing is just full of crap. What just happened? Did I miss something?
Griffin! Oh, so I'm so happy right now.
He just all caps. He's lucky he's a mod. He'd get a shushed. Thank you, sub. Yes, right? They should pay you. You shouldn't have to
My
pay them.
tongue hurts. So I have a follow up with this. I bought the baby clothes on a site called ThreadUp, and it's like a consignment stop online because I can't go get used clothes right now because I'm not walking into a store, right? And I'm like, look, if I want to live the message I preach about textile waste being awful, then I need to, so and I'm like the baby go. So anyway, you can go and you can say, new with tags, like somebody's bought it, never worn it, because like he's got stuff that he's grown out of too fast. Or you can say, just looks brand new, or stuff that's like got wear to it, but people will take it and mend it because you can get like stuff for like $9. Um, but a lot of the brand name stuff on there, you can also search by material. And so I've decided that I don't want anything that's not like an actual material. So cotton or cashmere, leather, blah, 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 blah. I don't want polyester because it's bad for the environment. It's bad to wash it because all the microplastics go into the water. So I was looking, and so much of the brand name stuff is just shit. Like it's just polyester rayon shit. And I'm like, why are we paying $80 for a rayon shirt
Because
with
you
the logo
charge.
on it?
Because they charge for it. And if you have to pay for it, you assume it's great. It's such a racket. Okay, person sits a couch out in a lucrative neighborhood with very well-to-do people. Couch, they put a sign on it, they say free. Sit there for days. Put a sign on it that says $50, it'll be gone in an hour. It's ridiculous. It only has value because we give it value. The Abercrombie and Fitch stuff is a joke. I've hated it my entire life. Sub and I are meeting together, and we're both gonna die on this hill. I say wear a plain T-shirt or a T-shirt with a fun phrase on it that you like from a video game you enjoy, or a Star Trek thing you dig, or whatever. But like, F these companies that just want to put their name on a shirt and charge you $35 for it. Like, screw that. Polo's
Isn't
been
that
doing that for a
going the way
million
of
years.
the dodo though?
I
Like,
sure
isn't
hope
that
so.
starting to feel like people are kind of, I don't know, wanting to be a little more classy with their polyester $300 shirts?
I get so it depends on what demographic you're looking at. Like our age, probably we've been to the Abercrombie and Fitch dirt hole and wallowed around in it for a while, and now we're like, maybe I'll do something a little bit fancier. But like the American Eagle stuff and all that, that's probably still a thing for a lot of like younger kids that haven't figured out that they're being used by corporations yet.
I think American Eagles, like they changed their marketing a bit. Like they a while ago stopped airbrushing all of their models, and I think they took like a lot of their logos off of stuff. So it's more kind of a like a homegrown feel versus like super like posh preppy kind of thing that they were originally.
Yeah, I think a lot more people are just your options are greater. Like you can go on Teespring or like all these different
Yeah.
t-shirt sites and find like I mean, I've got 4 shirts in my closet that are adventure game related. They're super duper quirky. Like they're not there's one that I really want that says LeChucky Charms and it's got LeChuck from Monkey Island on it. I really want that one. But it's shirts that nobody like and it's something that I think if there is an advertisement, it's this is something I'm into. If I see you in the mall and you go, I know what that is, then we're automatically friends, at
Friends,
least for a
yeah.
second. It's like when we were at Dragon Con like a couple years ago, and that dude was going up the escalator and he had the interface from Full Throttle on a T-shirt, the Polecats. I'm like, Full Throttle. He's like, I knew somebody would know what this was, or
He
whatever.
told his wife, he's like, he knows.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, I was like, see, connection made. I'll never forget that guy from that. But everybody's got on their stupid American Eagle shirt. Take the,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I don't know, but it is interesting how many shirts are made out of like bullshit. So if you're talking about like how they're designed and made, like I get paying more for that because there are some cuts of clothing that look much better because they're a little more tailored for certain body types. Like, okay, great, pay extra for that, but don't pay extra for a rayon piece of shit shirt
Yes.
that's gonna fall off you because it's got Ralph Lauren on it.
Oh yeah. Dude, Griffin American Eagle's been around since what, the 60s, 70s? They've been
Yeah.
they're an old company. Let's find out. I don't know why this has become an expose on
They they
American.
they did pretty before people started having issues with stores like that. They did a lot of like rebranding and remarketing and stuff to they weren't airbrushing their models. They started incorporating like more body types and yada yada yada, and they kind of went away from the were super selective. They went more for like I don't know if it makes sense.
I like that we brought up American Eagle because since 1999, Abercrombie and Fitch has sued American Eagle Outfitters at least 3 times for allegedly copying its designs and its advertisements.
Oh,
On
jeez.
all occasions, American Eagle prevailed in court because the designs basically you can't if American Eagle wants to have shirtless models and Abercrombie and Fitch had shirtless models first, that's not a trademarkable or copyrightable strategy. So that's what Abercrombie and Fitch was trying to sue over, and they can't sue over it because it's not designs like that can't be copyrighted in the United States, which is
I
fascinating.
you are not allowed to wear your shirt off because Abercrombie and Fitch has their shirt off.
It's stupid. It's stupid. Small town news.
This is my turn. Yeah. Going without a shirt is now designed. Florida woman out of luck when winning lottery ticket gets lost in mail. Is that a thing? Oh no, the mail. Oh, the
You can
poor
lose
mail.
things in the mail. Yes, that is a thing. It's been happening for years.
I didn't know that that's how you did. Like, do you? I don't know how lottery works. A woman who won a grand and a second chance. That's a grand, right? Yep. And a second chance drawing isn't getting her prize because the certified letter she sent was it never arrived. Sue Burgess said that officials in Tallahassee, yay, told her, "quote No ticket, no prize."
Hey, I almost worked for the lottery
Uh,
in Tallahassee. I interviewed there at
are you
the Florida
serious?
lottery. Yeah, but they already had 2 other Steves. That's the only reasoning I can think for them not hiring me because I know who they ended up hiring, and there's no way in Hades I would have hired that human for anything ever in my life. And they hired him. So I can only assume that they just had too many darn Steves in the office.
Well, I like the place you ended up working.
It was great. I made a lot of good friends there. Thank God I didn't work at the lottery. That place, woo.
Thank goodness for too many Steves. The second chance lottery prize gives winners limited time to turn in a ticket to claim the prize. Their options are either to put the ticket in a drop box, which wasn't open at the time due to the coronavirus pandemic, or mail them. Burgess said that she felt it would be safer to send the ticket via certified mail. The tracking information shows the ticket. Oh, okay. So they actually did track it. Tracking information shows the ticket arrived at the Tallahassee post office at 7:12 on August 12th, but the online tracking shows the ticket was never delivered. When Burgess called, lottery officials told her that without a ticket, the prize would go to an alternative winner. Oh, that sucks. But also could be like a mail scam. In a second chance game, the lottery has a record of winners because players register their names and contact information. Burgess told the station she was notified she won. Oh, so they know she won.
They know she won, but she can't produce the ticket. The ticket is the thing. You can't win the lottery, even if they're like, yes, you are the winner. We have you registered and your prize and blah blah blah. Bring us the ticket. No ticket, no money.
Even if you won, if somebody else like found the ticket, did they become the winner? That's
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how it works.
Huh.
If you got the ticket, I mean, they're a dirtbag for stealing your money because it's what they did. You know, I remember having to explain to my grandpa that gift cards was actual money. My mom was like, we have to tell him that it's real money because he won't know that a gift card is real money. Anyway, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, man, lottery is weird.
I know. Well, I feel like gift cards that have expiration dates on them are bullshit.
I agree. They shouldn't have that. Like, did my money expire that I gave you?
Right.
I don't think so. Just because,
And like, if somebody puts it in 12 years later, like they're not going to be able to buy as much with it. So technically, you made money. You like loaned them money and made money off of it.
I've had a gift card from Angus Barn for 6 years, and I haven't spent it yet. Because Stephanie and I were supposed to go on a date. We got it before Sam was born because our friend Dave, who's awesome, said, I got you a present at your baby shower because you don't need to forget each other after you have this thing. So this is for you guys to go on a date. And we never went on a date.
That you took him at his word and that you guys remembered each other.
We always remembered each other. It's just the going to Angus Barn was a challenge. That was so we've been on plenty of dates. We just didn't take. I actually called and tried to get a reservation once, and I couldn't get one for the night that we were going. I'm like, dang nabbit.
So, speaking of like date nights for couples and stuff, because I was talking to Jacob and I'm like, he's like, I don't miss eating out. I'm like, realistically, neither do I. I was like, I miss movie nights. Like, I miss going out and getting sushi and going to movie because we used to do that. And like, it was kind of a fun thing we did. Like, we didn't go every weekend. We got to go every once in a while. We always made a big deal out of it. And like, mom sent us a, like for Valentine's Day, I think, sent us a gift card to a restaurant. And I'm like, maybe
What am I
I'll
gonna
use
do
that
with
for
this?
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the restaurant doesn't shut down because then mom just lost her money.
I have a $50 IHOP gift card that my dad bought for us that I haven't been able to use because I have to drive over there and get it because I can have it delivered through DoorDash, but I can't actually I can't use the IHOP gift card through DoorDash. So I have to go, and when I want it, it's in the morning, and like the last thing I want to do is get in the car and drive to IHOP. So I'm holding on to it for when we can finally go back in an IHOP and I can meet your little guy and your husband. I'll bring my little guy and myself, and we'll have an IHOP breakfast because I miss IHOP Saturdays with Jacob and me and Sam because those were fun days.
So how about you call in the order and then come over to this side of town, pick it up, and then just come over here?
That's not a bad idea. I didn't consider that. You see, this is why you make the big bucks. You're thinking outside of the box. This is why quote unquote Ashley really makes this show. Said everybody,
it's my pajama pants.
Says everyone I've ever talked to about this show. Steven's sitting in the room. Ashley's really the talent around here. I'm not bitter.
I honestly think people say that just because, like, I feel like people are nicer to girls. Like, that's one upside of being a woman and going through the massive bullshit that is having tits, is people tend to be nicer. They also tend to talk down to you, but they tend to be nicer.
I thought of another reason that it's good to be a girl today. I had an epiphany while I was taking a pee. I thought to myself, if you do have to sit down to pee and you kind of have to poop a little, you can just go. You can just switch gears right away. If you're a dude, you have to like make sure the bay doors don't open while you're, you're letting everything go. And then you got to like do that squish like, oh, got to poop. Should have done that to start with. And then you got to like stop and get resituated. It's a whole episode when that happens. But if you're a girl, you just change.
Wait.
You just go ahead and knock it out.
I've literally Griffin. I want a picture of the prosthetic, but I also want to like have Steven draw a tattoo for it and then tape it on because that would be
Tape it on.
we would like to advertise on your body sort. Okay. So I've never been standing when I needed to go potty.
What? Like you've never just been walking down the street and been like, I gotta poop?
Right. Okay. So I've never had the dilemma that you just presented. I don't like if you well, okay. Maybe.
Like what if you're like in the middle and you're like, oh, gotta pass some gas. You're like, oh, that's almost a shart, and then you're in trouble because you're just standing to pee, and you really need to like, you realize you really should have sat down.
Like shockingly unaware of your bathroom needs.
Like if it just happens. I mean, sometimes you're like, I gotta pee, and then you're like, oh, never mind, I had something else to do. Have you ever been ADD before?
Even this whole pooping thing is really complicated for you.
No, I'm not saying.
Okay, I'm not alone in my thought that maybe that maybe you need to be more aware. You need more magnesium, Steven. Like if you're just standing there.
This isn't a common occurrence. This has just happened today, and I was like, huh. I really should have turned this into a number 2. I should have turned this number 1 to a number 2. And then because of the way my brain works, I was like, if I had been sitting down already, this wouldn't have been a problem. And then I was like, hey, Stephanie, you know what's kind of good about having to sit and pee? And she's like, I can't handle you right now. She told me to go back to work. See, Griff said Steven is right. Thank you, Griff.
So I guess I've never thought about it. Yeah, and he would have both ways to. Okay, so if Griffin says, and he has both ways to compare to.
Mm-hmm. See, sitting to go is weirdly convenient.
I'll go with that. I won't pretend to know what it's like to have to stand to pee and then need to take a shit and then have to undo my pants completely.
And then you have to decide, like, should I keep peeing or should I, like, stop, which is just, it breaks your soul when you have to do it, and then, like, switch gears. Like, what's the time constraints? There's so many things to consider here, but News Bear Left Untold is a better thing to go with. Whoops. Well, here we are. Oh, it's my turn. See, yes. Now even I'm not keeping track of the story. Freaking WoW. Did you see the pre-patch notes for WoW Shadowlands? Oh.
No, Sub said it was pushed back more.
It did. October 13th is pre-patch, so that's when like a lot of the stuff comes in, like the new character models, and they do the level and item squish and all that stuff back down to 60 and all that fancy pants stuff. And then later the expansion comes. I don't think we know when, but I'm actually kind of excited. I'm not going to play it, Sad Panda, but I'm pretty excited about it anyway.
I remember video games.
Oh, you'll remember them again one day. I finally remember them now. We finished Ori and the Blind Forest the other night. You should check that out on YouTube. twodorks.net/YouTube.
We're probably gonna have 2 of them though, because
Oh, good God. Okay.
Myself.
I'm just gonna tell a story then. Sorry, I'm having anxiety for you. A woman in Australia discovered her headaches were caused by a tapeworm larva in her brain. A 25-year-old woman in Australia discovered she had a tapeworm larvae in her brain after suffering from a headache that lasted for more than a week. The aches were caused by a tapeworm larva that had taken up space in her brain. Why does it say that 3 times? Like the headline says it, the first paragraph says it, the second paragraph says it. Jeez, we get it. For the past 7 years, the woman complained of headaches that would occur 2 or 3 times a month and went away with prescribed migraine medication. However, her latest headache lasted for more than a week and came with more severe visual symptoms, including the blurring of her central vision. An MRI of her brain led doctors to believe that a tumor might be the cause of her pain. But after operating and removing the lesion, they discovered it was actually a cyst full of tapeworm larvae. Ugh. After the removal, she required no further treatment. The woman
This
who worked
person
as
gets paid by the word.
clearly, the woman who worked as a barista was considered to be at no or very low risk of infection with tapeworm larvae, but is believed to have somehow accidentally ingested tapeworm eggs released from a carrier. What does that
But
mean?
that is,
Like they
I
ate
don't know,
somebody's
that's
poop?
like 0% helpful, really. Of course she ingested tapeworm eggs. Like, that's how she got it. What did she ingest it from?
Can't you get? Don't you just get tapeworms from feces? Isn't that where they come from? Maybe she's
No,
one
you
of
get
those.
tapeworms from, like, fish and, right? Isn't
I don't know. You get tape. I don't know where you buy tapeworm. The hardware store.
I I'm like looking at all these people talking about wow, and I'm just like, na, 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 na,
Na-na-na-na-na.
na,
It's
na,
yeah.
na,
I just
na.
the Xbox I got is awesome. By the
Oh, I
way,
forgot you got next books.
yeah, I bought it on eBay, and it
Oh,
was broken.
oh, that's what it was. You were gonna, and I told you, I was like, you should have Sub camp it for you because Sub's like the best eBayer.
Yeah, nobody wanted it because it had a broken disk drive. But I was playing. I've got the Game Pass for the PC and stuff, and I was downstairs. I'm like, there's 100. They have Doom Eternal on that sucker. There's Doom Eternal. Like both the Ori games are on there. There's a game called Moving Out that me and Stephanie are gonna play, where you play two movers.
I saw gameplay of that.
Yeah, so I'm really excited because I've got two controllers. I'm like, couch co-op will be great with that thing. So playing Moving Out, and Overcooked 2 is on there. There's just all these cool little indie games and stuff. I mean, they're on
Hey,
PC
remember when
too,
we
but
had game nights? That was fun.
maybe we can do that at the beach if we're not all dead. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true because the baby will be asleep and people can be around us.
Yeah, Sam will be asleep, baby will be asleep. You know, we'll see how we can do it.
I
No
go to
shows
bed
that
at like
week.
10.
Yeah, I know. We gotta go to bed too. It's important for everybody to get their sleep, you know. But anyway, I bought a disk drive to fix the disk drive that's in it, so then it'll be a fully operational battle station.
Dun, dun, dun. That was the best accent.
Can't not have it working. That would be...
Towerfall, isn't that the mech thing that like drop, like you can summon mechs and they'll fall and kill enemies and you
No,
hop in the
that's a
mech?
Titanfall.
That's okay.
Titanfall was great. That's the only first-person shooter I've ever been good at because there were bots, and I could kill a bunch of bots and feel like I was doing something. I can't kill other players, but the bots, I was real good at cleaning them out. That was a lot of fun.
Goldeneye, baby. Goldeneye.
WTF section. WTF.
Ace, that was a beautiful quote. Like that was beautiful. The doctor doesn't have children, but that was a beautiful quote.
Rest is for the weary, sleep is for the dead.
Sleep. I remember. Sleep is so cute. They're so cute. They're adorable. I had a friend tell me she's got 2 kids. She had Irish twins. Are you allowed to say Irish twins, or is that insulting?
I think it's probably insulting because I think there's a Catholic slur thing because the Catholics couldn't use birth control.
She had children close together.
There you go. Safer.
There we go. And she said the only reason she hasn't walked out into traffic is because she loves her kids. And I'm like, it's rough.
Our neighbors had 2, but they were older by the time we met them, so they were just running around arguing with each other. But I was like, yeah, that's no. And now I'm just gonna have 1, so I'm happy with the one I've got. It's totally fine by me.
If we would have had ours closer to when you had Sam, I would have been okay with 1. They could have played together.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think they'll play together a little bit, but that spread is gonna look awfully spready by your kid's 8 and Sam's 13. They might not. They might be good to go.
They'll be fine, but it'll be later when they get. Anyway, I'm reading this story.
Super
Oklahoma jail workers charged after forcing inmates to listen to Baby Shark on loop. That's so messed up. Two former detention officers and their supervisor were charged after investigation found inmates at the Oklahoma County Jail were forced to listen to the popular children's song Baby Shark on loop at loud volumes for extended periods of time. That actually is a method of torture, except they normally use like Viking metal.
I thought they used like the Barney songs and stuff. Didn't Guantanamo, they made them watch episodes of Barney continuously?
You guys yelled at me for not liking Barney, and they literally used it as torture. F that. Okay, I'm sorry, but Barney was a demon. That's
Barney's terrible. I didn't. I
Oh.
was lucky. I avoided Barney. I was a Sesame Street Mr. Rogers generation. My sister had the Barney stuff.
I didn't like any of it. I like
I
aliens
know
and
you're
dead
just
people.
you're a murder, death, kill kind of person.
I wonder, like, cause Sam, are there? I don't know. I don't. I don't want my kid to watch TV shows for kids unless it's Tumbleleaf. He can watch Tumbleleaf, and that's like
There's
it.
some Amazon makes some good ones, man. Like Teletubby sucks. But then Amazon doesn't make that. I'm just making a broad generalization about PBS children's programming. Sesame Street's pretty darn good as far as like educational TV goes. But like Bug Diaries on Amazon is awesome. It's a
Is
little
it?
spider and a fly and a worm, and they like learn lessons with each other. And Creative Galaxy's super duper cool. And Tumbleleaf is great. It's all about the show respecting your kid's intelligence. If the show
Yeah.
can't respect your kid's intelligence, I have no time for it. And that's what like some of those like mindless entertainment shows are all about.
Just it's a babysit. So that's some of the. I went through and cleaned out all the books that we had gotten because I'm like, okay, like these need to serve a purpose or they're just noise. And I feel like there's lots of kids' books that are just noise. But when you like curate it down to really like fun stuff, like we got the sign language flashcards for him, and it's just like a picture of the real item, and it has the word above the real item, which you should probably cover up for his age. But and then on the back, it's got like the sign, so you can hold it up to him. And I'm like, that's like those are the kind of books that kids need right now. Like you can read to them, but their books need to be tailored to them and not just like bullshit frozen stuff.
Oh yeah, it needs to be like things that are actually going to help them develop their skills. Like I can read Sam
Yes.
those little golden books, but what's actually going to
Yeah.
help him learn is the book that says I sit, I walk, I thing. Like there's this little sentences
Yeah.
that help them figure out what words look like and build those pattern recognition. He's his math man. What's 6 plus 1, Sam? 7. Did you just do that in your head? Yeah. Okay. All right. Great.
Show your
What
work.
what sound does the S make? I don't know. It's in your name. We've been spelling your name for the past 3 years with you. What does the S do? Sam. Oh gosh. It's
I was over at your house the other day and Stephanie was they were going over language and she had taken little magnets and spelled hit. And so she pointed to each letter and was saying, what sounds do these make? So he looks at it, goes, huh, eh, t. She goes, okay, now what does that spell? And he goes, hat. She's
yep.
like, Sam, stop guessing. And he goes, huh, it cat. She's like, Sam, you're guessing. Stop
He
guessing.
he
So he was
guesses.
just guessing every 3-letter word he could.
He guesses. It makes me crazy. It's like you don't know it if you just guess. Like you can do this. You can put it together. This is when homeschooling can find its struggles because some teacher who's dealt with 800 other children with these kinds of perceptions can be like, oh yeah, I've learned 80 these a bunch of skills to handle this situation. Where we're like, HAT hat. Did you just figure something out? Your light was real bright.
I didn't mess with it. That's how Jacob had it. Good God, that's so much better.
It helps.
Ugh. But I saw Griffin said, "Did you turn on a light?" And I'm like, "Oh, but it was this because I went from watching the dark Twitch to because I like to look at the thing to having my thing up. So that's probably what it was."
Oh yeah, the monitor was real bright.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll do it.
Holy ballsack. Okay, I'll finish reading the story.
Holy ballsack Batman. That was my favorite Batman expletive from the 60s show.
Holy ring light.
Holy ballsack.
Yay. At least 4 inmates were subjected to the inhuman discipline in an attorney visitation room of the jail. The inmates were forced to stand the entire time, hands cuffed behind them, and secured to the wall. This is messed up, man. Like, it's unfortunate that I could not find a felony statute to fit this scenario. I would have preferred filing a felony on this behavior. The DA said the legislature definitely should look at making a change to the law. Butler and Miles are accused of imposing the rogue discipline, and Hendershot, a lieutenant, is accused of knowing about it and doing nothing. Sheriff said that
Oh.
Butler and Miles were suspended and from any contact with inmates as soon as I knew about it. He said they resigned during the internal investigation. He said the lieutenant retired. Damn. Like, what did. Damn.
Man, I mean, like, inmates have rights. You know, you can't just treat them like garbage. That's why we're not a Thai prison. It just puts people out in
Yeah.
a dirt hole and has them dig till they die. Like, you still gotta respect them as people to some degree. You have to respect them as people. It's a
Period.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, as someone who worked in the correctional, I don't know how to put that. Is it an institution, correctional organization, correctional industry, which sounds even worse? They do it. There's a lot of things that they try to do to reduce recidivism. That was the word. That's like a key metric when you work in corrections is recidivism. Somebody goes out, you do not want them to come back. So while there, you try to help train them in skills and so they can learn how to do stuff. But then the problem is they get real good at computers. For instance, they took a programming class while they were in prison. They get out of prison, they're still a felon, and they can't get a job because no one will hire a felon. And then they're like, I tried to turn my life around, and the world won't let me. So here I am back in prison. It's really a disaster when you think about it. But we're not going to solve that here on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, are we?
We could try, but it'll probably have lots of butts in it.
Like human butts?
I don't know. I just realized that I was warm because the heater was on.
Okay.
Like on my butt.
Now that your
like
butt's
the
warm.
right side of my butt cheek is warm.
Oh, kielbasa sausage. So, mailbag, we ain't got none. Y'all don't send us mail, but if you want to, you can do that at hnhshow@gmail.com. We would love for you to send us mail. That'd be fun. Or tweet at us. You can do that at Steve H&H or Fake Kills, PHATE Kills, on there, the Twitter. Get on that Twitter and send us thoughts and stuff. And give us a review on your favorite podcasting service of choice. And Patreon, patreon.com/2dorks, or the newly minted 2dorks.net/support, where you can go and kick us $1 a month, like our friends Hammer Dwarf, Og, Adam, and Christina of Geekheim, Oddly Normal One, and our parents who give us money every month. Got that money, paid for the web server, and a couple of the other things that we've got that come out monthly, and that was great. So, hey, I appreciate that from you guys.
You guys are awesome.
It means the world. With that, we're going to leave you with these words of wisdom coming from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, when we see a soul whose acts are all regal, graceful, and pleasant as roses, we must thank God that such things can be and are. That's good. I like that one.
That was beautiful.
Well done. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Bye.
Bye.